Hey everyone, it is Abby. How are you all doing? Today we have an email from a subscriber who says that he had put his life on hold to take care of his mom while she was sick with cancer. Um, and he has become emotionally drained, and now he's faced with another situation where his grandmother is dying and he doesn't know that he uh, has the emotional capacity to help her. So let's find out what he has to say and see if we can give him any suggestions. Okay, so his email says, "Hi Abby, I wanted to write in to get some advice from you and the other subscribers. So here goes. Shortly after the pandemic began, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. Fortunately, I was in a position that I could take a break from work and moved in to take care of her. When my mom was having treatment, she was high risk for infection, so for almost a year and a half, I barely left the house. She has been cancer free since last May, and I've been arranging to move out. A family friend of ours will be renting an apartment for less than they normally would to me. However, they've had multiple setbacks to being able to rent the place to me. Each one justified. They're not stringing me along. Because I've been waiting for the apartment to become available, I'm still living with my mother and admittedly not paying rent for a few months after she's been cancer free and no longer needs my help. Early in the year, I was told I could move into the new apartment this month. Concurrent to this, my maternal grandmother has been in a nursing home for the last decade, and for the last 5 years, she's had advanced dementia that's necessitated her being in a specialized care facility. I made peace with the woman that is my grandmother, having died long ago. But I don't begrudge my mom for still caring for her. I do, however, begrudge hearing my mom constantly whining and moaning about the financial stress her mom puts her under. I can't seem to escape it while living with her. My grandmother's health has been rapidly declining over the last few weeks, and my grandmother's doctor is saying she probably doesn't have much longer to live. My first thought was, oh gosh, I hope I moved out before she dies because I just don't want to deal with my mom during this. I do realize this is pretty callous. My mom is losing her mom. Under any other circumstance, I would be happy to emotionally support her. But I'm so drained from being a caregiver for the past 2 years, on top of being in a long isolation with her, and just some negative personality traits of my mom that have been amplified due to my close quarters with her. Basically, I'm asking for two types of advice here. One, If I have managed to move out before my grandma dies, how do I set boundaries and keep them firm while acknowledging that if you love your mom, maybe you shouldn't have super strong boundaries while she's grieving her own mom? I want to reiterate that while my mom is annoying at times, I do love her and I want to help. I just feel I have a significantly reduced capacity to do so. And two, if I'm not moved out by the time my grandma passes, I need some advice on how to stay sane while my mom's grieving and I clearly will not be, and how to cultivate that little bit of caregiver energy I have left to best direct them to support my mom. Well, again, I said it before and I'll say it again. I am no therapist or doctor of any sort. This is just my opinion. But there is such a thing as caregiver fatigue. Obviously, you know that. You even said it yourself that you feel like you have caregiver fatigue. In saying that, I feel like being a caregiver of a loved one can be very stressful and exhausting physically, emotionally, and mentally, especially if it's for a prolonged period of time. And I have had some personal experience with this myself. So I can really sympathize with you as far as the feeling callous is concerned. Because I know it can be a situation where you feel torn between your emotions that, you want to do this for your mom, you love her, and it's just day in and day out, and it gets exhausting. And you have to kind of almost harden yourself, for a lack of a better way of putting it, harden your emotions so that it doesn't drain you completely. I feel like the variety of emotions you're going through right now are quite common, quite honestly. The sadness, the guilt, the anger, the exhaustion, feeling alone, like there's no one else around you. I think a lot of caregivers go through that. And honestly, I think that, you know, you need to make sure that you give yourself a break. Um, I understand and get the feeling like I get you feel like no one else can take as good a care as your mom as you can. A lot of people feel that way with their kids too. Um, but you need to give yourself a break, to disconnect from it all. You need some time for yourself to do something you enjoy, to relax, something that's your norm, um, outside of caring for your mother. Um, you know, if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to wear yourself out in such a way that you're not going to be able to give your mom the care that you want to and that she needs. Um, and really, in the end, ultimately, that doesn't really help anybody. Um, make a schedule that if you have to, that once a week you go hang out with your friends and do normal things, whatever it may be, um, just to kind of decompress a little bit. Um, you didn't mention if you had siblings or if your mom has siblings, um, that might be able to help you. Don't feel like you need to take it all on yourself. Ask for help. Um, or you're just going to continue to be exhausted and burnt out, and then you're going to have a whole slew of other issues, pertaining to yourself mentally and physically. And you don't want it to come to that either. Um, ask for help. Get some assistance with caring so you can step away for even an hour or two. Sometimes is enough to just decompress and, refocus and take care of yourself. Um, and if someone offers to help you, take it, take it, take it, take it. Um, I can't stress that enough. Talk to your physician or a counselor of some sort, maybe even a social worker. Get in touch with a social worker that might be able to, get you get, find a way to, some groups that your mom can be in. Does she have friends that she can go out with? Does she, have people that she talks to that she can go get a cup of coffee with and just get out of your hair for a few minutes? Go to dinner with, whatever. Because I don't think you mentioned anything about anyone else being in the picture. Um, Use your resources. You know, um, there are plenty of support groups out there, caregiver support groups. Try to find one of those if that's what you need. Um, Everyone has their own way of coping and grieving. And, as far as your feelings about your grandmother and having grieved over her some time ago, um, hopefully your mom understands, and I get that. I had a family member with Alzheimer's, um, and that's hard. You totally lose, the body, the shell is there, but you totally lose the person, who was on the inside. So, yeah, that's a grieving process in and of itself. Um, no two people grieve the same, so you need to, know that as well. Um, maybe talk to your mom and let her know how you feel about your grandma's condition and, what you're saying here, that you've already grieved for the loss, for losing her, the woman you knew, um, so that, when it comes time, she understands why you're not grieving as she may feel that you should. Um, you know, I think that, hopefully your friends are able to get you your apartment before that passes. Um, But quite honestly, if that doesn't happen, you're going to need to find a way to cope. Um, because, I get that you want to be strong for your mom, but maybe get some family members and friends involved and get her talking to people now, um, so that when the time does come, she's not solely relying on your shoulder. Um, she can rely on other people's shoulders as well. Um, in closing, I truly hope that you find a balance for yourself and your mom. Um, if there is anyone out there that has any advice or suggestions for this gentleman, or maybe had a similar experience that you can share, leave it in the comments. Any ideas about how he can cope, and navigate his way through there, please leave them in the comments below. I wanted to thank you for writing in. Feel free to send us an update on how you're doing. We'd love to hear from you. And everyone, I wanted to remind you we have just a few days left for our cigarette pouch contest. So don't forget to leave your comments there. And there are be sure to read the details of the contest. They are found on our community page here on our channel. And we will see you guys real soon. Bye.